The House is expected to vote today to put new limits on Syrian and Iraqi refugees. The Republican-backed bill would prevent refugees from entering the U.S. unless the government can verify they aren't a threat. The White House is threatening a veto.
Most Americans are against the president's plan to resettle 10,000 Syrians. 53% in a new poll say they oppose it. 28% say the program should be kept as it is. 11% want only Christians to be allowed in. Americans are split over sending U.S. ground troops to the Middle East to fight ISIS. 44% say yes to that, while 45% say no. Major Garrett is in Washington with how the debate is changing. Major, good morning.
Good morning. For Republicans seeking the presidency, the ISIS atrocities in Paris changed everything. More now call for U.S. ground troops to fight ISIS, and they want to stop all Syrian refugee resettlement in America, digging in against a president who has, while overseas, ridiculed Republicans as political opportunists, accusing them of using un-American tactics to manipulate voter fears.
It could be the great Trojan horse. We cannot take a chance that some of these people coming in are ISIS.
Donald Trump said the president's anger was misdirected.
He was primarily angry at the press and at the Republicans. It didn't look like he was angry at the people, the savages that did all the destruction.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz also took offense.
But I would encourage you, Mr. President, come back and insult me to my face.
Overnight in Manila, President Obama again defended his policy, which seeks to bring up to 10,000 Syrian refugees to America by the end of next year.
The idea that somehow they pose a more significant threat than all the tourists who pour into the United States every single day just doesn't jive with reality.
In interviews with CBS, Marco Rubio and John Kasich both endorsed U.S. combat forces fighting ISIS face-to-face in Syria. Both want more than the 50 special operations troops headed there now.
ISIS can only be defeated through a ground force, the bulk of which is made up of Sunnis themselves who reject their ideology and defeat them militarily.
When you say significant number of special operators, can you define that?
Well, that would be up to our military tacticians to decide. It's certainly, I'm positive it's more than 50.
Kasich said the ground war must begin soon.
We need to go on the ground and in the air, and we need to destroy ISIS. We can't wait. Working around the edges is not going to get it done because it's going to lead us to even more violence, and we'll be saying, look, why didn't we act sooner?
Trump also said last night if he were president, he would close down mosques in America. That would also fall into the everything has changed category. But here's one thing that hasn't changed. In France, the government will still resettle 30,000 Syrian refugees, the same number it committed to before the senseless bloodshed of last Friday. Charlie?
Thanks, Major.